Hello, today I'll be coding this animation. So let's see how that would work. I'm going to have a container, which is going to be a section element. Within it, I'm going to have an assembly of triangles. And now I'm going to loop and create all my triangles. So 8 times, oops. And now my triangle elements, and this is it for the markup. Now let's set some dimensions for the container. And now let's style the container. It's going to have width that d. It's going to be the exact same height. So height. Okay, now let's give it a background so that we can see it. Black. Okay, this is good. Now the next thing that we're going to do is pretty much the same, only for the triangle. And we're going to have an edge length, which is going to be a quarter of this dimension, so 0.25 times d. Now here I'm going to have L, and this is not going to be section, it's going to be triangle, and this background is not going to be black, it's going to be a linear gradient, minus 45 degrees, transparent, 50%, and white 0. Okay, now I'm going to make all divs, they're going to be absolutely positioned. So position absolute, and this won't work unless I make the section position relative. So this should now work. And now for the assembly, A, and I'm going to have top 50%, left 50% as well. Okay, and here I'm going to have a margin that's going to be minus half this L edge length. Okay, now I need to distribute these, so I'm going to need to loop here. So first of all, I'm going to have the number of triangles is 8, just like in the markup, and then I'm going to have a base angle, and this one's going to be 360 degrees over n. So here I'm going to have 4i from 0 to n, and I'm going to have nth child, and this one's going to be I plus 1. Now I'm going to do something else here. I'm going to set an animation. It's going to be the duration linear infinite. Okay. Now I'm going to have actually I can make this, I'm not going to use it again, and here I'm going to have animation and timing function, and it's going to be ease in out. Okay, so let's collapse that one, collapse this thing here as well, and here I'm going to have base for the rotation is going to be rotate, and it's going to be I plus 0.5 times the base angle. Okay, and I'm going to have animation name, and it's going to be A, and its index is going to depend on I. Okay, now I'm going to set the keyframes here, so keyframes I plus 1. Now up here I'm also going to compute a base percentage, and this one's going to be 100% over n. Okay, and I'm going to set a base translation here, so it's going to be 0% and I times that base percentage, and I'm going to have transform that base rotation, let's call it BR base rotation. Okay. And let's have fun a bit. This is not going to be our background blend mode difference. It's going to be mix blend mode, but I don't have autocomplete from mix blend mode, so okay. Now here I'm also going to have a translation. Let's see for the volume of that translation. So I'm going to have, first of all, I'm going to have a base translation volume, which is going to be a B. So I'm going to have twice the edge plus the edge times square root of 2, and so that's going to be 2 plus square root of 2, and I can bring square root of 2 in front, and since I need to divide by square root of 2, I'm just going to be left with 1 plus square root of 2. And I'm actually going to create a factor here. So a factor that's 1 over 1 plus square root of 2. Okay. And then I'm going to have here, I'm going to have minus 0.5 times the edge length over this factor, and this is going to be my base volume. So B and B, and then I'm going to have pretty much the same thing here. And this one's going to be 100. Okay. And here I'm going to have transform scale F. Okay. And here I'm going to compute an end translation volume, and this one is going to be, so let's think, it's going to depend on I, so it's going to be floor I over 2 and modulo 2, and this whole thing is going to be multiplied with the base volume, and let's make it twice so that it's big enough, and I'm going to have end value, not the base value there. So let's see how this works. Okay, not big enough. Let's make this 0.5. Okay, leave it like this for now, and let's see the animation here. So keyframes, and I'm going to set this thing here. So let's see. Actually, let's make this 0.2 and let's see how it works like this. I think it works. Okay. And let's make something else here. Transform, rotate, base angle. Okay, this should work just fine. Okay, it's good like this. Actually, make it 0.25. Now, one more thing here. I'm going to set filter blur 1 pixel, and here for the section I'm going to set filter contrast 2, and also here on the body I'm going to set display flex on justify content center. Okay, align items. Now I'm also going to set margin 0 and height is going to be full height. Okay, and let's also set a background that's going to be dim gray. Okay, this should work. And one more thing here, overflow hidden. Okay, this is perfect. So yeah, we got that animation, and I think we could probably speed it up a tiny little bit, so let's say something like 4 seconds instead, but otherwise I think it works pretty well. And this should work in Chrome and in Firefox and probably in Safari as well. Won't work in Edge because Edge doesn't support mixed blend mode, but I'll leave a link in the description with where you can vote for it to be implemented in Edge. So yeah, this is it for today, and until next time.